Okay, I've been using a mid-range smartphone for the past couple of weeks. I need to mention the mid-range smartphone that I have been using is the cheapest smartphone that I have used in the last 10 years. I mean, after I have graduated, I have never used a mid-range smartphone. I was living in the flagship arena, but suddenly I have decided to go with this Vivo V27 Pro, and the more I have used it, the more I have liked it. Well, before we talk about this smartphone, I need to mention some truth. The truth is status quo and financial limitations. These two actually plays a big role when people buys or gets a new smartphone. There are some people who just wanna get a flagship smartphone. It's not like they need a flagship smartphone. Some of the flagship smartphone users won't even use the flagship features of the smartphone. But they wanna buy a flagship smartphone because they believe without a flagship smartphone they will lose face. They wanna have the most expensive gadgets in their pocket. And then there is another group of people who wanna get the flagship features but don't have the money. They have financial limitations. Well, my name is HAN Han and I always prepare videos for the later group of people. I mean the people who have financial limitations. Well, I think this Vivo V27 Pro actually shrunken the gap between a flagship and a mid-range smartphone. The engineers of Vivo have condensed most of the important parts of their flagship smartphones into a more petite package. 7.4mm it is. I can't remember whether I have ever used any other smartphone that is thinner than this. In hand it feels lighter and I like this anti-glare matte finish. When I bought this, I had a plan to use this as my daily drive. So I bought this black colored variant, but if you want, then you can buy the blue colored variant. Oh yes, the blue colored variant has color changing abilities. That's fun. It's good that all the buttons are on the right side. I like the button placement. Neither too high, not too low. On top, there is nothing but a secondary noise cancellation microphone. Vivo has added a few words. Professional portrait. We will talk about that later in the camera section. The rear camera block has two-step bumps. I really feel this is a very subtle yet stylistic design, especially that aura light. Wow, that's a great innovation. At the bottom there is a dual SIM tray, primary microphone, USB 2.0, USB-C port and a speaker grill of the bottom fairing single loudspeaker. Altogether, amazingly well built quality with surprisingly well outlook and appearance. Yeah, this Vivo V27 Pro is the device that shrunken the gap between a flagship and a mid-range smartphone. Before we dig deeper into this budget beast, let's check what does this Vivo V27 Pro has under the hood. The most impressive part of this Vivo V27 Pro is, well, that's debatable. Display, camera, gaming, almost everything is impressive. It's an impressive package in a thin housing. Personally, I'm impressed by its camera performance. By the way, there are 3 sensors at the rear panel, but I think the third sensor is a marketing gimmick. I'm impressed by the main sensor and the selfie sensor performance. Vivo has used a custom Sony IMX766V sensor. It's 766V because it's custom built for this Vivo V27 Pro. It's a 50 megapixel sensor and performs like a beast. After I have checked a lot of photos taken by Vivo V27 Pro side by side with Xiaomi 13, wow, I'm totally surprised. Especially the portraits are absolutely wonderful. Thanks to Vivo's super polished camera algorithm. Considering the price difference, it's a massive win for Vivo V27 Pro. I have continued to take photos through the day and Vivo has continued to impress me with more detail, better skin tone, more definition and natural color tone mapping. When I have switched to the selfie sensor, the dazzling performance has just become way too good to believe. It has managed to compete with Galaxy S23 Ultra. Wait, really? Yeah. That was my first impression. Truly, it has grabbed a lot of details and it's nice that Vivo has kept the beauty effect as minimum as possible. Before we move on to the next segment, I will let you check some photos that I have shot with Vivo V27 Pro using its wedding filter. It's truly exceptional. A lot of people wonder why the flagship smartphones always comes with a great display panel, but the mid-range smartphones don't. Okay, if you are one of those, then the answer is cost cutting. But you will be very happy to know Vivo has found a balance between saving some dollars and putting a great, almost flagship class display panel in this V27 Pro. Side by side with Vivo X90 Pro, I have failed to find any visible difference. Both are 6.78-inch AMOLED, both support 1 billion colors, 120Hz refresh rate, HDR10+, and 20:9 aspect ratio. Yeah, Vivo X90 Pro has slightly better resolution and PPI density, but let me tell this from my heart, there isn't much of a difference. I know some people out there will be able to find one or two differences by doing some heavy nitpicking, but in reality, it's almost the same. You won't even notice the difference of a few extra pixel counts on a 1080p panel. It can go very bright under heavy sunlight. It's more than sufficient. No complaint. Colors are precisely correct and natural. Moreover, it's optimized for media consumption. Talking about media consumption, V27 Pro has Widevine L1 certification, so we can enjoy HD streaming on our favorite platforms. It's also great that Vivo V27 Pro has passed the safety net test, so we can use banking applications without anything to worry about. 4nm SoC, MediaTek Dimensity 8200 along with LPDDR5X RAM and Vivo's enhanced cooling system offers staggering gaming performance. I have tried to play Genshin Impact, PUBG, Real Racing 3 and many other graphics-intensive games. Wow! Vivo V27 Pro has offered smooth, top-notch performance. Before I talk about endurance, thermal management, and stress control, check this. Aren't you surprised? Yeah, I was surprised. But we have to accept it. This Vivo V27 Pro is really good in thermal management. I have got buttery smooth and very fluid in-game experience. Considering price and segment, frame rate is also high. And most importantly, Vivo V27 Pro offers a very stable frame rate. On top of all these, the display panel is so very appealing that gaming on this Vivo V27 Pro is much more delightful and enjoyable. Oh yeah, if you still wanna know Antutu's score, then here it is. Vivo V27 Pro comes with Android 13 out of the box and there is a skin. That's FunTouch OS. I think FunTouch OS is now more optimized than before, but I would like to see Origin OS going outside China. I mean, in the global market, Vivo should start providing Origin OS in their smartphones because I believe Origin OS is the most optimized Android skin, but well, FunTouch OS is also very good. I mean, it's good enough. Vivo V27 Pro comes with an old-school optical fingerprint sensor. It's an under-display optical sensor. This optical sensor is as good as any flagships. It's easy to enroll fingerprint. It's the same process and works perfectly well. No issues, no complaints. It's truly fast and fluid. Vivo V27 Pro also comes with face unlock option. Adding face data or enrolling face is pretty easy. Your face will get registered within a second and face unlock option of V27 Pro is pretty fast like a flagship smartphone. 4600 mAh battery in this thin housing. Wow, that's a big fuel tank for a SoC which is not even power hungry. It took the 80-watt charger 48 minutes to refill the fuel from 0 to 100%, but you need to know, even if Vivo provides an 80-watt charger in the box, V27 Pro supports 67-watt charging speed. Anyway, the endurance has been exceptional. V27 Pro has provided me very long, 7 hours of screen on time, and most of the time, it had 25% left in its fuel tank after a crazily busy day, even when the display is set to 120 Hz. I don't know. One more time. Maybe someone out there will be able to drain the battery faster by playing games through the day, but for an ordinary or general user like me, that's almost an impossible task. Frankly speaking, I'm a bit disheartened to see that there is no stereo speaker. However, I'm pleased to see that the bottom firing loudspeaker can go very loud without any distortion.
Let's go. Yeah, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket.
A or B? A, but B. A and B. We want all the features, but we want to pay less. And truly, there is nothing wrong with that idea. But I have a request. Please don't fall for those gimmicky features that many brands offers with their mid-range smartphones. Don't go for a smartphone because that one is a bit cheaper than the other. Because most of the cheaper smartphones comes with a lot of compromises. And finally, please don't fall for glittery advertisements. These days there are advertisements disguised as reviews and I really hate those. I'm not gonna say that go ahead buy a Vivo V27 Pro. What I'm gonna say is I have liked this device. Even if I have access to all the flagship smartphones, I have used this smartphone as my daily drive for 30 days and I will continue to use this smartphone. Yeah, that's my verdict. I wanna know what you think about this Vivo V27 Pro. Please don't forget to make a comment, and if you have liked this video then please don't forget to click on the like button. Also, please subscribe to this channel. Support honest content.